Hey guys, so today I thought it might be fun to slow things down a little bit and show you guys an animation of an individual character. Most of the time we make big scenes, but I don't always separate the characters out and just kind of show you guys a basic idle animation. But today we're going to draw the Paratrooper from Super Mario Bros. 3. I made this for another project and I was going to make a larger video, which I will make at a later time. So let me get the character all drawn out and then we'll revisit whenever the animation stuff starts.
Mamma mia! Okie dokie.
Alright, so here we are. So this time around, instead of it running super fast and you guys not being able to tell what's going on, I'm just running at this at double speed and trying to make it as clear as possible what I'm doing with the wing situation here. I'm going to end up making a 5-frame animation, and that's nothing really that complex. I thought that it would be interesting just because the animations in the original Super Mario Bros. 3 are even more simple than this. So I kind of want to reference its simplicity in the way that I create this, and creating a 5-frame animation doesn't generally take long, especially if there's not much movement. The only movement that I'm going to include in this are the wings flapping, which you can see that I'm working on here by moving pieces up and down. You may notice that in the background I have this kind of like transparency that's showing through. If you don't know what that is, that's something called onion skin. Onion skin is just an option that can be turned on in most digital art softwares. In this case, I'm using Aseprite as I always do, and which can be found just in one of the toolbars. If you can't do it or don't know how to find it, just look it up online. You'll find it pretty quick. What it does is it just lets you know where you previously animated on the frame before this one. That way you kind of have an idea of where you're coming from, and if you have a frame after it, also tells you where you were headed in the overall cycle of the animation. So you can see in the top right corner of the screen, the wings are flapping at this point. I only have 4 frames, and that's part of what I love about doing pixel art animations, just because it doesn't take much knowledge or much time to animate something in a satisfying way. So I'm just gonna let this play out for a minute. You guys can just watch along. It's just me messing with the frames. I just thought it would be nice to separate this out so people who are beginners or people who want to make simple animations can see how it's done and realize it doesn't take that long. So now we're getting into what I was talking about earlier, moving pieces and parts, moving the whole character up and down just to give it a little bit more personality and make it feel a bit more alive and not just having the wings flap and making it feel very static. As I'm doing this, you can see how much more personality it has already. And now I'm entering a phase where I'm going to start animating other little bits and pieces around the actual piece itself, just because I feel like those kind of things add a touch more personality, make it feel a little bit more alive. So things like closing and opening the eyes whenever it goes up and down, or opening and closing the mouth whenever it goes up and down, or even extending and dragging and stretching the bits and pieces, just so it feels like it's all tied together. It's all one cohesive unit, it's all working together, and its movement is affecting the other pieces and parts of the body. So here we are towards the very end of this animation, adding the last little bits and touches to it to kind of give it that extra little bit of punch and personality. One of the last things that I add to this here is a bit of smear to the wing itself, just to give it a little bit more of that snap. I think that we've talked about smear frames in past videos, and I just like to use them because I think that it gives my animations an energy that they wouldn't otherwise have without the use of smear frames. But just the extra little bit that kind of pushes it over the line and makes it feel more cartoony and more lively than it did. So since we're towards the end of the animation here, let's go ahead and just jump to the final version so we can see a version that's not zipping by at double speed. Alright, so there we have it, the final version. I just kind of put it in this nice little frame just because I thought that it looked better that way. But I hope this video was helpful. The reason why I pulled this out of the bigger video was just to show you guys you can create simple, easy, quick, fun, energetic animations without much effort. But also, it's just fun to do this kind of stuff just because the result's quick and it feels nice. And I also get to express your understanding without much time investment. And it's just a fun thing to do. So if you like the video, then make sure to like it. If you want more stuff like this, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys around next time. Bye.